Welcome to the Bougie Black Brother Network. Good afternoon and welcome to Fade to Black Cinema. I'm Michael, your Bougie Black Brother, and I'm here for my weekly movie review. And I'm still on track with a bunch of my foreign films. So, sitting at home for COVID-19, I jump between movies and TV shows, and Netflix always gives me something that I can actually check out and enjoy. So the one that I picked up today was The Decline. It's actually a Canadian-French movie, which I found really, really interesting too, because it was not only French, but it was Canadian, and it was released specifically for Netflix. And so some people who don't like subtitles and all, they do have it dubbed in English. And what made it interesting too with this one is it's dubbed in English, but it's dubbed in English by the people who actually did it in French. So you still get their accent, their the way they're speaking. But I went with the actual the French version. So what is this crazy stuff about? A fatal accident at a remote survivalist training camp sends participants into a panic and sets the stage for a chilling showdown. So, what does that mean? So, it's basically, it starts off about the main protagonist looking at YouTube videos or whatever about being a survivalist. You know, this was interesting to me, because you usually see this in the United States. You have these people who want to go against the government and feel that the government is against them. And they say, well, I got to learn to live off the land. I have to be prepared. You know, I have to have guns available. I have to have my own farms. I need to know how to hunt. And they've been following a guy that had his own training camp just for that. So you see this guy, he's training and getting everything together. You see him talking to his daughter. So he's the main protagonist in the story, as opposed to the main guy who runs the camp. So as he takes off and says, I want to be trained, he takes off and he gets picked up by the leader of the camp, and he brings him to the camp, and you find about 6 to 7 other people that's there. All these people have different personalities and have their own reasons to be in there. It's 2 females and a couple of other guys. I think it's a total of 4 other guys with the main protagonist. So you seeing them, they walking through, they training with weapons, they training with explosives, they learning how to plant food, they learning how to hunt and the surveillance and how things should be blocked off in that way. So, you know, you're seeing this and you got like, uh-oh, this seems like something weird that they're going against the government or whatever in that way. But it goes to a point that an accident happens. And slowly but surely, mentally, people make a decision to say, is this really what I want? Because the accident causes someone to die, and after that person dies, you see a faction between the people who say, yo, this ain't for me, and the others are saying, hey, if you go to the authorities, you're going to ruin everything we have. Thus, it becomes a tracking of this training between the people who really believes in this wholeheartedly and the people who thought this was something that they wanted. And that's when the story gets really, really intense. And it's it slows to a point that you don't know where it's going. And when the main protagonist winds up with one other person, it kind of moves along with that. So really, really good. It gets really intense when they're hunting each other and they're hunting to get away, and then the other one's hunting each other. Then it turns around and saying who's hunting who and how will this end. So it's a little different the way it ends, but very, very interesting, and it's short. So as most movies are an average of 2 hours or more, this was closer to 90 minutes or a little less than 90 minutes. And probably if you take the credits off the front and back end, probably a little more than 80 minutes, which is good because it doesn't give a lot of character development of where these people came from, who they are individually. They just show them getting together, understanding what needs to go on, slightly showing certain personalities of certain people, but not enough to just drag it on, because he could have dragged it on, or the director, which is a female, which is I can't pronounce her name, so don't get me started with that. So she developed a lot of the characters slightly enough to see where you see where their head is. And then it gets really intense after that. But it's a slowly decline on how you think in one way, and then do you decline to a point of saying, kill or be killed, protect what you want to protect, or is it a decline of, hey, look, this is really crazy, and if I'm going to be dealing with people like this, I'd rather not do it at all. But very, very exciting, very good movie. And like I said, it's short, so it's kind of worth seeing really quickly, because it moves pretty fast once you establish what actually happens. But that's The Decline on Netflix. So check that out. Again, it's French, but it's Canadian French. Cinematography is great all out, because it's all in the woods and, in a snowy landscape. And it's just really, really cinematically pretty good. But then the excitement and the fight scenes and certain things, it's just pretty good. So worth seeing. I'm Michael, your bougie black brother. Check us out every Wednesday for our movie or TV show reviews, and we'll let you know what you can do while sitting around doing nothing. So take about an hour and a half or 2 hours just to check out a movie, or binge like I've been doing. Do a couple of movies at a time, or run a 6-8 hour review of a series or two. Well, thank you very much. Fade to Black Cinema on every podcast download, or on bougieblackbrother.com. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week on Fade to Black Cinema.